Hello, I'm Andrew McAnerney, Artistic Director of the Studio de Musique Ancienne de Montréal, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce these pre-concert presentations for our special 45th anniversary season. Hello, my name is Andrew McAnerney, and I am the Artistic Director of the Studio de Musique Ancienne de Montréal.
And I'm Mathieu Lussier. I'm the co-artistic director of Arion Baroque Orchestra.
And we're talking about the concert of the Mass in B minor, which is a collaboration between Arion Baroque Orchestra and the Studio de Musique Ancienne de Montréal with guest conductor Andrea Marcon. And that concert takes place as part of the Montreal Bach Festival. It's on Friday the 29th of November at 7:30 p.m. at Église Saint-Jean-Baptiste.
Yeah, playing B minor mass is a treat for, I think, everyone on stage, and having the chance to meet Andrea Marcon, who's one of the leading figure in the Baroque scene in Europe, certainly be an interesting meeting musically and on the human side of things for our musician and choir member too.
Yeah, this is one of my favourite pieces, and I know it's an audience favourite as well. And I think it's going to be a fantastic fit for our ensembles together. I know our singers love singing it. They sing it quite regularly. This is going to be, I think, the third performance in Montreal this year. But this is going to be the best performance in Montreal this year.
Yeah.
Working with Andrea Marcon and of course, with the wonderful players of Arion Baroque.
Yeah, Arion, I think, has played the piece a couple of seasons ago, but since it's a big and theatrical piece, it's always challenging to set up the program. So, you can't do it too often. So there's a special aspect to it. And personally, this piece has a very special connection in my memories, as I remember as a teenager when the Gulf War was declared in the early 1990s. The radio show I was listening just announced that today it's war, and then the host started B minor mass, and I was blown away. And every time I'm on stage playing that piece, it reminds me of how struck I was by the power of this opening, and it's as grand as heavens, regardless of what your beliefs are.
Now this is going to be nice for us because both of us are sitting in the audience for this. We're letting other people do the work. But you must have played this piece many times. What's your relationship with the piece?
Well, I'm a bassoon player, so the funny thing about being a bassoon player in the B minor mass is we play in this quoniam part with the baritone solo, the horn, and the two bassoons. And natural horn, two Baroque bassoons, it's either the best or the worst moment of the piece. So sometimes the moment it sounds like a comic relief, or sometimes it's just there's something fragile but glorious about it. So and if you play first bassoon in B minor mass, you're actually very busy from note one to the very last. If you're second bassoon, you play a little less, and then sometimes some conductors, they want a more intimate B minor mass, so they will ask the second bassoon just to stay aside for some of the more delicate passages, and then you have to wake up and play that incredibly original and challenging moment right in the middle of the piece, leading to that crazy fugue where the choir, cum sancto spirito, just unleash itself just in what sounds like a almost impossible task to sing that many notes in that little amount of time.
And Bach's not nice to his bassoonists as a rule, is he?
No. There's a story that actually Bach got into a real physical fight with his bassoon player, even went to jail because of that. So that means don't mess with bassoon player, even if you're Johann Sebastian Bach.
Well, as a singer as well, this piece is a real challenge. There are a lot of notes. There's a lot of fast notes. There are a lot of words. Bach is often a challenge for singers, but you have to step back and see the whole picture. And when you step back and see how each line is intricately connected to the others and the overall scheme that he has in his mind, it's just fantastic, and it's worth the effort.
Yeah, and I think it's the same from the instrumental point of view. I mean, it's just like, it is so challenging, but it's rewarding to see how powerful it is for the audience, for the musician, but for the audience too. There is that amazing trust and open welcomeness to that music. And Bach music is not simple. It's not easy if you compare it to, I don't say Handel or Purcell is easy, but somehow it's clearer. It's the texture is simple. Bach sometimes goes into very tricky fugal section and everything. So it's a little more complex to understand, to play. But on the audience, it's kind of a miracle how trustful they are when they receive that music. Any Bach work somehow, and B minor mass with this grand proportion, it's kind of, it's very intense, and it's as a artistic director for the first time for Arion, just to be able to dive in that collaboration with SMAM for this project is a real treat.
And this is a great work. It's often singled out as one of the high points of the Western canon of music. And in fact, it comes right at the end of Bach's life. At the end of Bach's life, he was working on two great projects. He was working on the Art of Fugue, he was working on the B minor Mass, both of which represented this culmination of his entire career as an organist, as a teacher, as a conductor. And they really stand out because they are this masterwork of diversity. You have all different styles. You go from the simplicity of a gentle aria with just a trio of instruments all the way up to these magnificent celebrations in the Gloria and at the Resurrexit in the Credo with the trumpets, with the whole orchestra, up to eight parts in the vocal parts. It's joyous. And at the same time, we have that solemnity that starts the piece, the Kyrie, which I just find magical. It's an incredible opening to any concert.
Yeah, and it's the most magical thing about this Kyrie is that it's quite substantial. It's not short, and for instrumentalists, play sustained, especially for a wind player like I am, it's always a challenge to play long movement. But this is one of the rare pieces where I feel it could go on even longer because it's so fulfilling. And you just can't get enough of these beautiful modulation and solemnity, as you say, about this. And no, it's a real treat. And I think SMAM and Arion and Cantor are always a moment of joy, pleasure, and really enriching exchanges. So meeting around such a masterwork with a guest conductor who brings a team of soloists that he's used to work with, I think it's going to be just a real treat, and hope the church will be packed.
I'm sure it will, and I for one can't wait to hear it, so I'm sure our public will be equally delighted.